1 2 1 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 1 1 2. What's up, people? 1 2 1. You know how we do this. You know. HU, you know. Yep. I got so much stuff going on. I'm gonna stick to my old deal. Things that I can control while I'm doing what I do. What's happening, people? It's Thirsty Thursday. Let me quench your thirst. Man, that's mellow. That's mellow as all outdoors, as old folks used to say. That's a huge area if you think about it. All outdoors? That's going in the space going around. Wow. Remember when your mama used to say, close my door, what you trying to do? Cool the neighborhood? You're letting all my cool out. What's up, people? Special shout out to my okay. YouTubers, you know what the deal is. I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me. So Tish, let me know. You hear me, baby? 1 2 1 2. Hey, hey, hey. Pinky in the house. What we gonna do tonight, Pinky? I ain't trying to take over this world. I gotta start a whole new one. Now I know why you lying loud and clear. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm. Yeah, that's a Marine salute. Yeah. You put it up to the air and just drop it. Boom, boom. Fingers extended and joined, thumb along the seat. Don't worry about it. I'm having flashbacks, people. What can I say? I'm having flashbacks. It ain't my fault. Yeah, man. I bought a new camera, folks. And I was trying to go out and get some pictures of this pink sun this morning. And I was upset because I couldn't find the memory card that I wanted. So my bad behind didn't do it. So, but I got pictures of the pink moon. I've been here for a minute. It's all right. 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 Oh, 1 2 1 1 2. Don't just give me thumbs. Give me some love. Show me some love. We got some new folks in the house. Checking it out. Checking it out. Hi. How yourself? Hi. 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 Is you? Ah. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. I'm not trying to start a call. I'm just trying to get my camera going. What's happening, people? Y'all already know what the deal is with me. You already know what the deal is with me. Yep. Um, there's a part of me wants to. I look kind of good with my dad would call this an Ivory League haircut. I met this woman and she said Ivory League and it made me laugh. It reminded me of my dad. And but the way she said it in a derogatory manner. So she said, I don't know if I could talk to you. 'Cause you be using the big old words. I know you went to one of them Ivory Leagues, like the soap. And then I thought about my dad used to say that. And I was laughing about the fact that my dad said it, but I think she took it as though I was laughing at her. Needless to say, we never spoke again. If you're that damn sensitive, you know what I mean? Get over yourself. It is what it is. So anyway, folks, what we doing? Let's start this thing off right. I got the Hank in the house tonight. Remember they used to do that at parties? We're gonna start this thing off right. We got the Hank in the house tonight. I need some fingers so I can see who's here. I see I got the little birthday girl in here. You had your little birthday. You didn't come down to Florida, so no. I don't care. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. How's it going, people? I'm just kind of bugging out here. It's early. I wanted to get in. Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. Keep strong. Oh, baby, look. I'm a. Who? Don't make me. I ain't gonna show off. I got a little beef, you know. I got a little belly too, cause bro, I love to eat. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Back at you. Hey, dear. Hey, baby. Hey, hey. Oh, see, I love when you come in the house. You be throwing all that love at me. All that love just be hitting me all over. Be looking at like that little emoji, kisses all over my face and can off. Ooh, 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 love has truly. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like I need some music going on tonight. There's so much going on. There's so much going on that I don't know. I'm playing with my YouTube stuff. I'm gonna throw some. Ooh, girl, you better stop that. You better stop. You make me want to lead a one with shit. I ain't with nobody. Start a new relationship with you. Yeah. It seemed like when I do a song, if I'm doing my little ride along, rolling with Rennie, Dark Ken Exposed. If I do that and 104.5 Star FM or whatever they call itself, out of Orlando, tell them out there here because they start featuring those songs more. I blow up the song, I do my little silliness when I'm dancing in the car and halfway singing it because I got to pay attention to traffic. I can't just stop at the red light and bust it out. I'm not meant to live alone. Turn this house into a home where I climb the stairs and turn the key. Please be there, saying that you're still in love with me. See, I can't do it like that. I can't really get into it. I can't really get into it. So I'm just clowning because they play a song I like, you know. So they start playing all the songs that I did, my little reels and my little TikToks with that's playing. Girl, don't make me want to sing. Because anything came between us, you were like my best friend. The one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl was having problems. You used to say it'll be okay. Just little nice things I should do. Now you can't do Usher without doing some bankhead bounce, you know, so you gotta bounce it a little bit. So what I'm gonna need everybody to bounce. Hey, hey, Oh, where my ATL crew? Y'all remember when that bankhead joint was out there? Might have seen Bobby Brown over there. They had a little strip club named Nicky's. I'm like, Nicky's? I ain't never seen that many strip clubs in my life. So, folks, I'm just kind of bugging. I'm waiting for folks to get in here. Yeah, I got the little skull cut. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a little gray taking over, and the gray shows no colors. The gray is translucent, man. That means you can see through it. Kind of like transparent on on steroids. So, yeah, this is my first little drink you drank in a minute. Because I've been trying to hold back on this. I've been really, really trying to hold back for so long. But if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo! Let's get on. Here. Ow! Ow! Ah, no, I am not toasted. I'm not even bent a little bit. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. And I was a lonely man, a man with no direction, with no purpose, with no one to love, and no one to love me for me. Oh, girl, you came into my life. You made my jagged edges smooth. You made my direction so clear, and mm, you became my purpose, my reason for living. You see, you're my heart, you're my soul, you're my stone inspiration, baby. Oh, that's why I'm sitting here singing and opening my arms to you. I want to say ciao. Lionel Richie was tripping back in the day, huh? Take my hand. I don't know. I'm just kind of warming up, folks, giving folks a chance to get in here. It's 7 past the half. I need to stop clowning and getting on with the show, but it is what it is. I want to say good evening and welcome to the show. As always, and um, I like to always start off by saying, of all the things you could be doing on the Thursday night, the fact that you come here with me, and especially of late, since I've been having so many technical issues and difficulties. Let this get out. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Let me see. I gotta adjust. I gotta adjust. I gotta adjust. Yeah. I met this woman who watched my show. She's pretty cool people. And she says, I didn't realize you were so tall. You look short online. I'm like, baby, all you can see is from my chest up online. And also, yeah. Bro, I used to be closer to six when I was 6 foot a half inch. Now I done shrunk, not shrank. I done shrunk about an inch in my old age. So I guess I got to watch my posture and start walking erect and sitting tall like Uncle Sam and my mom and them used to say, boy, sit up straight. So anyway, how y'all doing? Thank you for tuning in tonight. Like I said, of all the things you could be doing on a Thursday, the fact that you come here every Thursday, week in, week out, to hear me with some of my hilarity, as well as trying to drop some knowledge, kick some science to you guys, and break some things down. My show is called OMITDALOGIC. This shit makes no sense. But every week, week in, week out, every Thursday night, I feel like you're thirsting for a little knowledge, a little of what's happening according to the Hank. So what I try to do is share this with you, my take on what's going on in this crazy world of ours. This week, the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been telling you my theme or my title of my show. Tonight, I decided to take kind of a detour. I've been trying to stay away from the politics side of it because for almost 2.5 years solid, almost 3 years, all I did was primarily politics 99% of the time because it was so important trying to get you guys to understand the severity and the importance of getting something done. Um, I wanted to make sure that we got Biden in there because I felt like he was the only person that could take down Trump. So this journey, if you will, started back in 2017 on the day that Trump took office and with all of the craziness. As soon as he came back, and he said something about, there was more people there than Obama's inauguration, and they start talking this stuff. And I was at the Million Man March in October of '95, and I walked from on the National Capitol Mall. I walked from the U.S. Capitol to the Lincoln Memorial, and I saw the sea of brothers from one side on Constitution Avenue all the way to the other side, almost going to the bridge that goes from D.C. into Virginia. And I was just amazed that the sea of black men came together with one purpose, with one divine state of mind. And the fact that it was Farrakhan that put it together, and there was this meeting of the minds, and at the time it just come out that Fa- Farrakhan and the Muslims were complicit in the death of Malcolm. Um, Yet the Shabazz family, Malcolm's family, decided to forgive him and look past that, and he actually participated. So I said, if they could forgive, then I could look past another man's transgressions and forgive as well. The fact that there was so many of us out there, and there was not one fight, there was not one disagreement. Remember getting there at 5:30 in the morning because we wanted to have a parking spot. And shout out to my boy Michael Boyd. He's a I guess last I heard he was a Illinois state trooper, but he went from being black to being blue. We were so tight back then. He stayed by my crib, and we got up early in the morning and we drove in. And driving into DC from Maryland, we saw all of these out of town license plates. And all of this is significant because I had a I had an idea of what it was probably like on the day that Martin gave the "I Have a Dream" speech. 1963. I was 3 years old, but I'm looking at this and I'm seeing living history, and I'm being a part of history, Black history, American history, and then to have somebody like Despicable, Delusional Donnie insult our intelligence and talk about how he has these delusions of grandeur, like everything he does has to be the most spectacular, the most outrageous. And outrageous is probably the best adjective to describe it, because is anything other than exemplary. So being a part of that, and just knowing what was taking place, I I decided that I would undertake this thing to make sure that he was a one-term president. And I start seeking my consciousness. I start going through my head and say, who is it that we have that could take him down? And given the fact that Joe Biden had spent 8 years under President Obama's tutelage, and during that 8-year period, he was the one who went to Congress and got things like it was originally called affordable health care. And then the Republicans, in their mind, to stir the hate, they renamed it Obamacare because they knew that the bigots would come out of the woodwork as soon as you attach Obama's name to it. And Biden was the one who went up there, like the junkyard dog, and dogmatically, strategically, methodically got things done. And so I felt like that would be the Biden that we got, because I knew there was two Bidens. There was the Biden who was a part of the go along to get along posse, who basically lambasted um, Anita Hill during the um, Thomas confirmation hearings, and I was in DC for that as well. So being a part of this ongoing history and having the background that I have, I just felt like something came upon me where I had a job to do. And then um, the thing in Dallas where this off-duty cop, Guyer, was flirting with her boss on the phone and accidentally walked into the wrong apartment and shot and killed the little Haitian guy, Jean. My man was sitting in his house on his sofa eating ice cream. And I was so moved that I decided I would do my first podcast. So that's where this all started. I was talking to my daughter and I was voicing my outrage. And I said, I need to say something. And then shout out to Cesare Blunt, brother. When I wrote something, he called me and said, "Yo, big bro, you need to do go live." He said, "People need to hear your voice, man." And I was like, "Man, I think that's the most arrogant thing to go live on Facebook and think that what you have to say is so important that people are gonna stop what they're doing to sit down and take note of what it is that you have to say." And here, 3 years later, here I am, still giving you the word, still dropping knowledge, kicking science, and trying to make shit that don't make sense make it make sense, omitting the logic each and every week. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, if it's your first time tuning in, you just got a glimpse as not only the catalyst that started this, but the background of my show. So that's where we are now, folks. Why is all of this important? Because along the way, I've made predictions, I've um, analyzed and observed, and I've made um, determinations and broke things down to kind of let you guys know. So after a week of being bombarded with calls and inquiries as to what's going on now, I find myself right back where I started from, having to deal with and having to talk about um, some of these politics and these political maneuverings that's happening this week. So this week, I decided to call the show "Accused, Indicted, and Arraigned." But meanwhile, in Black America, and I say specifically Black, I just don't mean African American. See, if we put all the colors of the rainbow together, we get the color black. So I don't use the term African American because I remember when we were Negro, I remember when we were colored, I remember when James Brown said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." And suddenly black meant something. Because before that, if you call someone black, it has a derogatory connotation. And that person was ready to go to blows. They were ready to fight. So when James Brown said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud," I would rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. I was about 9 years old when that record came out, if that. And I don't think I was that old. But it stoked something in me and it connected. And it's been kind of playing in my consciousness. And I found myself as I got older looking back at all of my ancestors, my direct ancestors, in their struggles and how they invested in me to make a difference. So here I am, folks, accused, indicted, and arraigned. But meanwhile, in Black America. So I decided I will talk this week about a couple things. I can't help but to talk about the Donald Trump thing. And what I want to explain to you guys is Ron DeSantis, I call him Ron Satanic. Ron De Satanic. Um, he's this little short guy in Florida who just happens to be the governor. And he obviously has a hang up about his height because it's a well known fact that he wears these lifts, these elevator lifts in his shoes to make himself appear taller. And I originally called him Ron DeSantis Trump Jr. because he took on this persona of hate like Trump did. And now what's happening this week in particular, DeSantis has been going on this tour of what I call hate. And that's why I call him satanic, because he's been going around the country trying to stoke the fires, not only of hate, but to try to give himself a national platform, hoping to be the 2024 Republican candidate. So in the state of Florida, we're starting to see these commercials from Trump saying that DeSantis is not ready yet. So now, this week, Trump was originally accused. Well, here's what's significant about that. The accusations started in 2016. So 6 years, 7 years later, these accusations have somehow snowballed. Think of the old Bullwinkle and Rocky, and Bullwinkle falls down the hill, and the snowball starts as a little thing like this, and before you know it, it has him totally incorporated in this ball of snow and ice. And it's taken 7 years to get to this point where the accusation becomes an actual legal maneuver, where he's actually accused and formal charges are drawn up. So he's been accused, then he was indicted. That's the process. So we heard about that, and he turned it into a media circus because that's what he does. So he took the indictment because his popularity was starting to wane. I understand, babe. His popularity was starting to wane. And then this week he was arraigned, which basically means he goes in front of the judge and the charges, the actual charges. So we found out about 34 charges having to do with everything of mismanagement of this money. It's campaign money. When you raise money for a specific purpose, that's what it's supposed to be used for in these kind of organizations. But he decided to use some of the money to make this stripper be quiet about the relationship they had. And then here's the funny thing, she's not the only one, because then it came out that there was about 16 to 18, 20 girls that he had some kind of negative sexual contact with. Call it sexual assault or inappropriate behavior, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm not privy to it, and you probably never will be as well. How much of that is going to come out in this is to be determined. So what I've been getting bombarded with is questions. Do you think he's going to trial? Do you think he's going to be convicted? Let me explain to you. in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. Let me take one more sip first, because my tongue is getting thick. Mellows me out. In my humble opinion, what is going to happen moving forward? Now that he's been arraigned, they've pushed these court dates off. The strategy in doing so is to push it closer to the 2024 Republican convention. Because what's obvious now, he's become more popular as a result of this. Now he's able to collect money, fundraise, but ultimately, will he be convicted? In this type of trial, it takes a unanimous decision amongst 12 people. I say to you, in my humble opinion, using my Creole powers to the utmost, if we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 in 12 people, I would say there would be an average 1 in 12 people is a Trump disciple. So even if he goes to trial, will he be convicted? Probably not. Now, let me give you my disclaimer. There are times when I say something to you and I hope that I'm wrong. I take pride in doing the research and having the analytical capacity to break things down and make them make sense. We keep saying this is chess, not checkers. And I think it's almost impossible in the state of New York, or any state for that matter, red or blue state, to find 12 people to agree on Trump's guilt. So that about sums it up. He's been accused, he's been indicted, he's been arraigned, he has court dates. They're pushing the court dates off till next year as it goes into the selection for the 2024 election. This increases his popularity at a critical time, which means there's a high likelihood, A, he wants to be president again because that's the most power he's had. And once those kind of people get a taste of that kind of power, it's imperative that he not get in the White House again, because unlike 2020, he's going to put people in strategic places to try to usurp or overturn everything in the Constitution, to try to make himself a president for life. I keep saying these are the times when I hope, wish, and pray that I'm wrong. Meanwhile, in Black America, I saw this commercial the other day. Let me give you my disclaimer because I know my Jewish brethren, they're kind of sensitive. And anytime one says anything, it can be misconstrued or misinterpreted as being anti Jewish or Semitic. The commercial says that the Jewish population in America is about 4% of the national population. Then the commercial goes on to say, but of that 4%, 55% of them are somehow involved in some type of hate crime. I brought that up only because on March the 18th, a 17-year-old by the name of Delaneo Martin was asleep in a car. The DC Park Police converged on the car. Now, I'm petrified. I got stopped for a speeding ticket. I have license to carry a weapon, and I'm petrified, not only for me, but for my sons. When my son is on the road, and he's not a trucker, so if you're riding in a truck, you have a certain amount of protection. When he goes through these small country towns, he drives around um, installing networks. And I keep telling you, he's going to come and help me get all of this organized so that I don't have some of the technical issues that I've been having. But when he's on the road, a lot of times he calls me and he'll tell me, "Was yo, dad, I just this cop is following me or whatever, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, man? You need to just be cool, Pop. I've been here. I've been to this little place. You know, we have this commercial contract, and they know me because I've been here 3 times in the past year. So I can understand fear. My son is 44. I'm 63. What you expect a 17-year-old to do, especially being told all his life, when the cops show up, put your hands on the steering wheel, keep your hands in plain sight, and suddenly you've got 11, 12, or 6 or 7. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3. Cops have mob mentality too. And when they come together, when they congregate in groups, they start trying to impress each other. The energy quickly changes from one of protect and serve to one of aggression. So, what you don't know these days is they have a little universal remote where they can open your power doors. They opened the door on this boy. One of them distracted him, going to one door. The other cop, park police now, climbs into the back seat. The kid starts to drive off because we have this internal mechanism called fight or flight. When we find ourselves in a situation that we feel we can't win by fighting, our natural our natural self-preservation instinct is to flight, run, get away to a place that you feel safe. So this boy started to drive off. Obviously, this cop didn't have a taser, didn't know how to use the taser, or somehow believed that deadly force was necessary. Because we see this video, and this kid is shot numerous times and crashes into a house. So now, not only have you taken this kid's life, you put every resident of that house life in jeopardy. Because once you incapacitated this kid in a moving vehicle, you had no idea where this car was going. And what happens? Again, here we go with the federal investigation to explore whether or not his civil rights were civil rights. if his family is awarded money, if the cop is somehow accused, indicted, and arraigned and convicted, it does not bring the 17-year-old back. The 17-year-old will never know what it's like to graduate high school. The 17-year-old will never know what it's like to marry and have children. His parents won't know what it's like, what his grandchildren would look like, or all the things he could accomplish in life. Meanwhile, back in Florida, Ron DeSatanic, the Florida governor, not to be outdone by Trump and his media circus, he does a preemptive strike and he signs a bill into law that makes it legal for any gun owner to carry a weapon with no training. Given the fact that cops who are supposedly being trained and on a annual basis, I suspect, of the use of deadly force. And with all this training, they still misuse it. So, what do you think is going to happen when you have every Tom, Dick, and Billy the Kid carrying a weapon? And simply because they bought it legally doesn't mean that they're going to use it legally. In Florida, with the same state where George Zimmerman took Trayvon's Martin's life, who he pursued. How old was Trayvon? Oh, I think he was 17. Or in Jacksonville, where the white guy shot into the car because these four black kids were playing their music too loud. And he was convicted. And his mom went on she turned it into a political thing. And now I think she's in Congress. Does she have a son back? I think she's trying to make a difference so that no other mother will have to go through what she went through. My son is 44, and I wouldn't want to see him taken away at the age of 44. So I couldn't even imagine 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Meanwhile, in the state of Florida, while DeSantis is doing this, let me explain to you what happened. The end of last month, March I want to say the 29th, the 30th, no, the 30th, the 31st, and April the 1st, on 3 consecutive days, 3 kids were killed. All 3 of these kids knew each other. The Marion County Sheriff suspect that it's some kind of gang thing, a wannabe gang. Doesn't bring the kids back. But despite all of this, to stay popular with the voters of Florida and to tap into the hate of those people who want to recite their right to bear arms. These kids are gone. But DeSantis don't care. Supposed to be a ex Navy SEAL. The thing that hurts most is when you have to take somebody's life who is not necessarily a combatant, but you're put in a situation where you have to act in a combat situation. As a former Navy SEAL, you think DeSantis would think about that? Mm-mm. His blind ambition of wanting to be the next Trump supersedes any humanity that he has. It supersedes any what it would feel like to be a parent. So this is Holy Week. I guess today would be Holy Thursday, tomorrow is Good Friday, and Sunday would be Easter. And in that time, right here, in the midst of all of that, we have all of these people with all of this blind ambition, not giving a shit about nothing and nobody. This is a somber night. I want to get back to talking about Black families. I want to bring you guys into my show. I want you guys to be able to interact, and I'm working on that. So hang with me. But in the meantime, in between time, I got to stick to what works for me. And right now, this works. My Facebook and my YouTube, even with its glitches from week to week and from time to time, this works. So this is the devil that I know. So what do we do moving forward? Again, I always bring up the Jews because they have some solidarity. This past week, on a brighter note, I saw these young ladies, these young women, and I don't know why they prefer to be called women than ladies. Back in the days, lady was a term of endearment. It was the ultimate term of endearment. Of LSU, these ladies, these young women of LSU, win the NCAA championship in basketball. And I saw little Angel straight out of Baltimore, and she got that BMO all over her. Young lady will not be silenced. And I took up the fight because, like my Jewish brothers, what I say is when they come at one of us, they should have to deal with all of us. If a little 17-year-old who got shot by a cop, if George Floyd's name, if he had a Jewish surname, Rosenberg or Stein, I'm almost positive that there would be more forward movement in the George Floyd bill and police reform. Because one thing is obvious. If we're 12, 13% of the population when it comes to negative outcomes with police interactions, is definitely disproportionate. Somewhere in the rate of 98% of it, if not 99% of negative outcomes when interactions with police are black. So, folks, thank you for showing solidarity for Angel, for Alexis, for the ladies of LSU. Shout out to UConn, Sports sometimes is a distraction that I don't get into. When Jill Biden decided that she would go against and said we want to, I'm going to talk to Joe and we're going to invite Iowa as well. First thing I did is I laughed. Most of you guys got pissed. I said, Caitlin don't want to be in the same room, inhaling the same air, drinking the same Kool-Aid with Angel Reese in DC, who is from Baltimore, 40 miles up the road. No, 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 no. So I thought it most comical. Most of you thought it most insulting. There is a silver lining to a dark cloud sometimes. That's all I got for you tonight, folks. That's my attempt to end all of this madness, all of this illogical shit that don't make sense. That's my way on 4/6/2023 of trying to make it make sense. So do me a favor. If you're still there, if you still hear the sound of my voice, omit the logic. If you go to omit THE logic, you're going to find Richard Pryor. So go to omit the DA, phonetically how we pronounce the word. We don't put our tongue between our teeth and say them, those, that, and the. We say them, that, who that, what they doing, and if that ain't the coldest shit in America. So go to my OMITDALOGIC on my YouTube page. Sign up, subscribe, ring the bell, share this with some other folks. I promise you, you'll be glad that you did. And that, little by little, in 3 years, I have more backing of people that I don't know. Imagine that. So, in a Willie Lynch sense, we always find a way to undercut each other. But be that as it may, I will see you next week. Same Baptiste time, same Baptiste place. I'm your man, Hank Batiste. This is OMITDALOGIC. And as I always say, do not be so afraid of dying that you forget to live for a purpose. Because one thing about this game called life, nobody leaves alive. So I'm doing my part. And finally, as always important, I wish you love. I wish you peace. 2 fingers to the sky. And like your man, fresh haircut and hair grease. I'm out of here. I love you to death. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. See you next week, folks. Much love. Yep. So you two, we was there. Oh, Mama say, Mama say, Mama say. So you can hear me all the way through? Who's still out? Who's still out? Who's still out? Y'all heard me the whole time? Okay. Okay. All the way, all the way. That's the only way. I don't want a little piece of it. I'm greedy. I want it all. Jerome, somebody hand me a mirror. I'm out of here. Got a penthouse in Manhattan. 2 more in Malibu.